The South Shore's Morning News rolls on. It is a Wednesday. Great to have you here. I'm Rob Hackalaw, along with Beth Foster and the morning team. And time now to check in with one of the great experts over at Plymouth Bay Orthopedic Associates, pbortho.com. Dr. Eric Rightmire is back on the broadcast with us today. Dr. Rightmire, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you back on the program, and I know you specialize when it comes to orthopedic care, to knees and also elbow surgery as well. And we were going to get into this week, we wanted to talk about something called robotic knee replacement. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so fill us in. What exactly does that mean?
So knee replacements is a common procedure. It's one of the most common orthopedic procedures performed every year in this country, and it's been around for a very long time. But the results haven't always been that great. So historically, they would wear out after 10 to 15 years. Patient satisfaction was around 85%. So about 10 years ago, a new technology came online called robotic technology, which is a surgical procedure. It's essentially the same thing as a knee replacement, but there's an assistance to the surgeon using a robotic arm, making the procedure a little less invasive, and has started to show improvement in the outcomes. So historically, the problem was an alignment issue, so kind of like the tires on your car. If you don't get them on perfectly the first time, they wear out a little quicker. So the solution has been this new technology, and it's been pretty exciting for us over the past 10 years.
Wow, I love that metaphor about not putting the wheels on correctly the first time. So when I heard what you described, it kind of reminded me of the machines that I've seen on reality television for gastric bypass. Is this technology becoming just more present in a lot of major surgeries?
It is. The abdominal robot, the Da Vinci robot, came online before the orthopedic robot and has been a precursor to a lot of new, less invasive surgical procedures in every arena.
Right. Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't know that, because if it's less invasive, I feel as if the healing time is a little bit sped up. I mean, obviously, we know healing is so important. It's pretty much the last component of recuperation. And so is that really what it comes down to? You know, you're not cut open as much as you would be.
Correct. The incision's smaller. There's less disruption of the bone and tendon because you don't have to see as much with a robotic arm guiding you. And it's led to this procedure becoming a day surgery. Most of our patients go home the same of the surgery and are walking on it right away, usually without assistance within 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible.
No, that's life-changing, and that makes a huge difference for patients, going into this. They want to be, saying, hey, I could get through this in a day, and my recovery would be faster, so why wouldn't I have it done this way? So this is something that you guys do. You take people through this procedure, and you can talk about, what the steps are?
Yes. The initial procedure, the step is always an inpatient office visit where you come in, get x-rays, examine the knee, get the history, and find out how severe the arthritis is. There's plenty of conservative measures, which we almost always try before resorting to surgery.
Right.
Physical therapy, anti-inflammatories, maybe a cortisone injection. And if it gets to the point where those measures are failing, then the next step is to plan for a surgical date, and that gets the ball rolling in terms of planning. There's a lot of things that have to several steps. We have to communicate with a primary care doctor that the patient is in good shape and able to undergo an elective procedure. We have to get a CT scan of the knee, which provides us with a three-dimensional image, which is what the real technology behind the robot is based upon. It gives us the three-dimensional image that we can pretty much plan the surgery and do it virtually before the patient ever comes to the operating room.
Oh, wow.
So that allows us to perfect the plan and then just execute on the day of the procedure.
Yeah, I definitely think this medical technology for surgeries especially is very advantageous for the patient going under. My question is, which I feel as if people will wonder as well, when should they make that initial appointment? Like does the pain have to persist throughout the entire day, or is it with certain movements? Because I've kind of been noticing, I'm a big fan of the Stairmaster, and I've kind of been noticing that my knees get a little bit cranky. When I'm on the Stairmaster, but that's not really cause for alarm at my age.
I wouldn't think you would need surgery yet, but
or like a consultation or go into a doctor. Yeah, when should people make that first appointment with you?
How do you know?
Right, hopefully not, but I would say sooner the better. I deal with everything knee, from pediatric sports injuries all the way up to grandmother's total knee replacement. So it's always good to get a baseline to find out what the x-rays look like, and you can often get a pretty good idea of what the timeline looks like. And it's the first choice is almost never a total knee replacement. There are plenty of other that we can try before that. The other thing that the robotics has allowed us to do is partial knee replacements, which has been a great tool for the middle-aged athlete who maybe had a meniscal tear when they were in high school, had that fixed, now have developed a little bit of arthritis just where the meniscus tear was, just on the medial compartment or the lateral compartment. And those patients historically would have to wait until it got bad enough to warrant a total knee replacement. Now we can do a partial, replacing just that part of the knee, and patients find that they can remain still pretty highly active, and the knee feels pretty natural after that procedure.
That's great.
The whole way.
Think about the quality of life is really, once you have this done, how you'll be able to move better. And if you have pain in both knees, I imagine there are some cases where someone will have this procedure done and they feel good that they will, when they're ready, go and have another one done. Is that sometimes you see that?
Yes. We used to do two at the same time. We don't do that anymore. It's a little traumatic, and we found that if you stagger them, it takes about the same amount of time to recover. So on average, it's 3 months apart. I've done them as soon as 4 to 6 weeks apart, so that's unusual. What I have found, though, is oftentimes when one knee is almost always worse than the other, and when you fix the worst of the two, the other one then improves, and you don't have to have anything done for a while.
Wow, that's good to know.
Yeah, that is good to know.
Okay. Wow. Well, people should make the phone call. Again, if you want to talk about it more, make a consultation, Plymouth Bay Orthopedic Associates. Again, you can talk to Dr. Eric Rightmire. He has performed this procedure, and he's a dual board certified orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine and general orthopedics. And he's one of the great staff members at Plymouth Bay Orthopedics. pbortho.com is the website, pbortho.com, and you can find out more. And they have a lot of information exactly on the website, right, Doctor?
Yes, we have a pretty extensive website with a lot of video of talks and descriptions of all the procedures we do.
Excellent.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Well, Dr. Eric Rightmire, thank you for joining us today and being with us on WATD.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Beth. Have a nice holiday.
You. Yeah, happy holidays. That was very insightful.
Happy holidays. Very important. Plymouth Bay Orthopedics.